And showtime, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. We'll look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network. I am also one of your co-hosts on this program. I am joined, as ever, by your other host, Eric Simpson, who is a business improvement and transformation expert for MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, Rich. I'm back in Southern California. Survived a huge, I guess, torrential downpour this week. I was in Texas most of the week with a client and came back to everything just being wet and soggy here. How about you?
Well, I am back home in Seattle, and apparently I stole your sunshine because it's been kind of nice out here lately. So, and it's
I'm hearing that tune now. Steal my sunshine.
I'll give
Awesome.
it back. I'll give it back. We always give it back to Southern California sooner or later.
Yep, that's true. That's true. All right, what we got cooking up in the pot for our viewers today?
Well, let's just dive right in then. Our top story of the week here concerns Intel. Now let's go in the Wayback Machine to March of this year. Intel announced at its Partner Connect event that they were going to be taking all of these different partner programs that they have across the company for different segments of their partner community. So IoT partners, cloud partners, resellers, system builders, etc. And over time, they're going to be taking all those separate partner programs, turning them into one big partner program. And that's set to happen still at some point in the second half of next year, 2020. But what they told us back in March is that there were going to be certain interim steps that they would be taking between now and then. And I'm pretty sure we spoke about the previous interim step on an earlier episode of the 5-Minute Roundup. That's when Intel announced the launch of the Intel Partner University, where they took training and education materials from all these different partner programs and rolled it all together into one place. What they did this week is create what's called the Intel Solutions Marketplace. And basically, it's an online venue that gives partners from all of these different communities, all these different kinds of partners a place where they can set up a storefront, tell visitors what they do, what they offer, show solutions, collect inquiries from visitors who are interested in learning more about that. It is not, and this is something they emphasize, it's not an e-commerce platform. So the idea is not that somebody visiting a storefront is actually going to buy a product or a solution listed there, but it is a way to learn what's available and learn how to buy and who to buy from and how to contact either the provider of that solution or a distributor who offers it. So there are two basic functions that this site is designed to perform, and one is helping end users locate products and partners that they can work with. The other one, which in some ways is even more interesting, is helping partners find each other. So we're definitely in an era of IT now where solutions are getting more and more complex. They typically include a combination of hardware, software, and services. It's rare that any one partner has all the expertise, all the components needed to deliver a complete solution on their own. So partnering with other partners is an important go-to-market strategy these days. And one of the things Intel is hoping to do with the Solutions Marketplace is allow its various kinds of partners to find each other, forge alliances, and go to market together with products that are based, obviously, on Intel technologies. Right now, it's still a sort of a unified front end to a lot of separate partner programs. Down the road next year, when the Intel Partner Alliance, as it'll be called, this big unified partner program rolls out, there really will be one partner program that it's connected to. And as you may recall, there are 3 different levels in that partner program: Member, Gold, and Titanium. It's only going to be the Gold and the Titanium partners who get storefronts on the site going forward. But all partners of all different kinds will be encouraged to go there and create alliances with each other. So another important milestone on this long journey that Intel is on to bring its partner programs together. It's obviously a very complex undertaking. And I think it's good to see they're making progress. It's probably helpful for their partners that they're doing it in increments rather than all in one big fell swoop next year.
Helpful for their partners and for their developers. I mean, what a massive undertaking, right? Combining all of these disparate communities and platforms and evolving them into, this new, one, central location for all of these things. What I found most interesting about the story, Rich, that you wrote was the aspect of it, this almost evolving from the partners themselves lamenting how they missed that interaction with each other at the different Intel partner events. And so they took that to heart and said, well, let us, include that in this strategy to create this kind of ecosystem partner to partner where, like, as you said, they can find each other and collaborate and things like that. I thought that was, really unique. At first, I thought, oh, another platform, right? What's unique about that? But that was the most intriguing part. And then to understand also that it's not, e-commerce. These partners are not going to be transacting and selling things to, B2B or end user clients here. It's more of this almost lead gen, opportunity development type of a focus, if I got that right too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there is lead management functionality on the back end that people with storefronts can take advantage of to see, and reporting data as well that will show them how many people have come to the site, what have they looked at, who has reached out for more information. So there is a lead management aspect to it. And Intel is going to be going out there and spending money on demand generation as well, driving traffic to the site. So that, that there are people visiting and making inquiries and so on. So, I mean, in terms of the benefit for an Intel partner and why they would want to consider listing themselves in the solutions marketplace, is you're kind of tapping into some of Intel's marketing power and the work that they're going to be doing to drive people to the site. And in terms of the first point you made there, yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, part of the inspiration here was at that Partner Connect event they do every year that I mentioned before. There is this sort of partner matchmaking function that takes place there, and partners love it and have said they love it. And of course, the Partner Connect event is 2-3 days a year. So the thought within Intel was, is there something we can do to keep that going, keep those kinds of conversations going all year long? And that was a big part of what the solutions marketplace was designed to do.
Right, and also they're going to be seeding the platform with kind of go-to-market collateral and resources and videos and things like that these partners can use to help build their businesses. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. So, the storefronts will list solutions, but they can list a whole bunch of other kinds of resources as well. So if you have white papers or data sheets or whatever it is that you want customers to take a look at when you're telling them about what your company does, that's all going to be on this site too.
Yeah, and for smaller organizations that can benefit from leveraging Intel as kind of a cornerstone vendor partner, it's going to make a difference.
Well, we are talking here about a tool, and a complex tool with lots of different features and functions attached to it, and that has to do or relates to your tip of the week.
Absolutely, Rich. Today we're going to talk about probably one of the most important platforms in an IT provider or an MSP's portfolio of tools that they use not only to manage and report on and build their business, but also as a critical tool used to deliver service to their end user customers. And I'm talking about the PSA. The PSA, fresh from an on-site engagement with a new client that I'm helping, with their service delivery department, we encountered a scenario that was obfuscating the data that we needed in order to make critical strategic changes in staffing and tiering and things like that. The PSA needed some optimization, but probably the one key factor, which was probably the biggest challenge that we're still working through, I think we've got a solution to it now. It's a simple one. It just takes time to deploy. Is having the ticket types and subtypes reviewed and recategorized, because over time, you can continue adding types and subtypes until the cows come home, or end up with not enough types and subtypes, and then end up with the dreaded other category. Well, I can't tell who worked on what an other ticket is, but I know that, 55% of the tickets that we worked on last year were other. Not very helpful information. So tip of the week, folks, take a look at your PSA platform. Look at how you're segmenting and categorizing your ticket types and subtypes so it's meaningful. Typically, less is more. And as long as it gives you the ability to scrutinize the data points, really what you're looking for is the ability to report on how long what are your top 10 types of incidents? How long does it take your team to address each of those incidents? Those types of things. And then you can start to identify how profitable each one of your technicians are, what it costs you to close each ticket, how profitable a client is, an agreement is among clients, multiple agreements, garbage in, garbage out. If you've just got kind of these big catch-all, types and subtypes, or you've got a million types and subtypes, that's, not healthy either. So take a look at that, make a decision moving forward to, start cutting away some of that noise so you can really get actionable intel to help make strategic decisions on the things that we discussed, tiering, staffing, incentive programs, one thing that we found was a majority of tickets were in one specific area. We decided to, allocate more resources to that area so teams are able to address those tickets more effectively. So these are the kinds of things that come up, and it lets you run a much healthier and profitable and efficient service desk and service delivery.
Yeah, the major PSA solutions, for most of the PSA solutions out there are really powerful applications, but to really get the power from them, to take advantage of that power, you've got to get everything set up right, configured properly. You got to keep that information fresh. You've got to optimize all that. And then you also have to really understand how to take advantage of all that functionality that's out there. So in this case, step one is to make sure that you're categorizing the tickets properly. And step two is to really familiarize yourself with the reporting functionality so that you're getting the data that you need to run the business more effectively is inside that PSA waiting for you to discover it, basically. And you just need to, know what things to look for and how to find it. And so, yeah, both PSA systems and RMM systems, strike me as these hugely powerful tools that a lot of MSPs don't get complete value from, just because the tools are complex and the users really just haven't figured out yet how to take advantage of all that functionality.
Yeah, I used to say, most of the time it's kind of like we say we only use 10% of our brains. We've got this powerful PSA solution. We're only using it for tickets when it has all this other capability to help us really get a perspective on the drivers of our business. So yes, definitely consider every one of your critical platforms that drive your business in the framework of continual improvement. Right? It's not just set it and forget it and it's going to be good forever. You're constantly adding new technologies and new services and things like that to your stack. And if you're not helping your PSA platform, RMM platforms evolve to support those, that's kind of where these other categories, end up being created. I think it's just, oh, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Let's just, tag it other for now. And guess what? We kind of never get back around to it.
Well, we have got time for just one more story on this week's episode here. And, a PSA platform that's underutilized, that's kind of a frustrating thing. Let me tell you a little bit about something else that's frustrating, although maybe only to somebody who is an editor, and that is a misused apostrophe, which, trust me, it happens a ton. If you are paid to be an editor, you see it everywhere. And this, which was in the news recently, was just sad. So there was he is a gentleman in the UK named John Richards. He's a retired journalist. In 2001, quite a while ago, he created what he called the Apostrophe Protection Society, which was dedicated basically to teaching people the proper use of the apostrophe and calling out improper use, protecting the apostrophe and its role in proper grammar. He is now 96 years old, but not because of that, not because he's old and he's just too tired to do it, simply because he has given up on protecting the apostrophe from misuse. He is folding the tent on the Apostrophe Protection Society. He says, fewer organizations and individuals are now caring about the correct use of the apostrophe in the English language. We and our many supporters worldwide have done our best, but the ignorance and laziness present in modern times have won. There it is, right there, just in a sentence or two, Eric. Ignorance and laziness have won, the apostrophe has lost, and we are all the poorer for it.
It really hurts me in my heart, Rich. I really, I try to practice good grammar, as writing, not anywhere near as much as you do and voraciously. But when I put out something, I try to make sure that it is at least grammatically correct. If the content, doesn't make any sense, at least it's delivered from a grammatical perspective as correctly as I can deliver it. So yeah, it's sad that we're throwing in the towel on these tent poles of good writing and grammar. Sucks.
I didn't even know there was an Apostrophe Protection Society until I read this story, and it makes me wonder if somebody out there has created a similar organization for quotation marks, because that's the other thing that drives me nuts is people just kind of tossing quotation marks all over the place out there.
Air quotes too.
Exactly. Yeah. Whole different topic. We'll come back to that in a future episode of the show here. But that is it for this week's episode, and thank you very much for joining us. If you like the 5-minute roundup, you'd like to maybe take a look at some episodes in the past that you missed and keep up to speed on the new ones as they come out, best thing to do is go to the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube and subscribe to that. Make sure you click the little bell there if you want to get notifications when new episodes become available. To read more about the Intel Solutions Marketplace, other things happening in the industry, get great business growth tips for your company, go to ChannelProNetwork.com on a daily basis. We've got new content there going up for you every single day. To learn more about Eric and the work that he does with his clients, including helping them get maximum value from their PSA system, you want to go to ErickSimpson.com. There's ERICK Simpson.com. We will be back next week with another episode of the 5-Minute Roundup. Until then, thank you folks for joining us. Please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.